What does the word present mean? Hi, I'm Eric. Welcome to We Do Grammar Points. In this video, I'll talk about English grammar, but I'm just going to talk about one point, so hopefully it doesn't seem too complicated. And then there are some questions at the end of the video, so you can practice a little. In a lesson like this, I hope you come to understand the main idea. But then, to get good at English, the most important thing is to practice as much as possible. Here's today's point. Present simple verb form. Many people think this is the most basic verb form. Maybe in your English language education, the first time you learned about verbs, you learned the present simple tense. And since you've learned a little English, you already know that the only difficult part about this grammar point is changing the form when talking about he, she, or it. Basically, you have to add an S to the end. I play tennis, they play tennis, we play tennis, you play tennis, she plays tennis. I study hard, they study hard, we study hard, you study hard, he studies hard. I run fast, they run fast, we run fast, you run fast, it runs fast. But I want to talk about the real meaning of the present simple. Maybe you know that when I say the word present, I'm talking about time, or since we're studying grammar, tense. Tense is a grammar word that means time. And there are various tenses: present, past, continuous, perfect, future, etc. But please remember, these are just grammar names, and the names are not so important. I think the reason many people make mistakes is because they call this form present. The name of this tense is present. I asked already, what does the word present mean? Well, it means now. For this reason, people think these verbs, present simple verbs, tell us what's happening now. But this is not true. I'll explain. A present simple verb means the action is a habit, custom, natural ability, or usual part of life. It's something that normally happens. If I say, I play tennis, this does not mean tennis is what I'm doing right now. It means sometimes I play tennis. Playing tennis is a usual part of my life. And when I say, she studies hard, she isn't studying hard now, in the present. It means when she studies hard. It's in her nature. And if I say, the cheetah runs fast, it's not running right now, but when it runs, the speed is fast. If you ask any native speaker to add an adverb to these simple sentences without changing the tense, they'll add words like usually. I usually play tennis on Saturday. Every. She studies hard every day. Always. It always runs fast when it chases a gazelle. Like I mentioned before, if you want to really use the simple present tense correctly all the time, you have to know what words we use together with a present simple verb. And the words we use with verbs are called adverbs. So, what adverbs should we use with the present simple verbs? Here are a few of those adverbs: always, usually, hardly, normally, sometimes, every day, every weekend, every year, often, rarely, generally, etc. And here are some of the most common situations that require using the simple present tense with these adverbs. If something is natural, the sun shines brightly. The human heart beats 60 to 100 times per minute. The albatross flies 30,000 kilometers in search of food. It's also used for habits. My parents always wake up early. She usually goes to the bookstore after class. My dad often drinks coffee after dinner. Traditions. People in Chile eat a lot of avocados. My neighbors celebrate Hanukkah. Japanese people visit their family graves in August. And it's for something that's just a usual part of life. It usually rains a lot this time of year. The trains almost always run on time in Japan. Maybe now you can understand a little better how to use the present simple tense. But with every grammar point, there's always one problem. Like I said, the name present is a little confusing because this word means now. But the present tense doesn't show you what's happening right now. It shows habits or customs. I jog every morning. This is my custom. And this is the present simple. But I'm not jogging right now. I'm talking to you. But can we use this grammar form for the present, really? Yes. You see, all the verbs I showed you, run, wake up, eat, study, give, speak, swim, drive, play, jog, etc. These all show something dynamic is happening. These verbs show action, movement, change. These are dynamic verbs. But some verbs are different. We call them stative verbs. These verbs show the status of something, the situation of something. My sister has 2 dogs. I used the present simple, and she has these dogs now. So this really is the present. This is true right now. But as you can see, she's not doing this action. Nothing is happening. This is just her status. This is her situation right now. And it would be strange, it would be wrong to say, my sister has 2 dogs every morning. What? Or, my sister is having 2 dogs. This is too strange. And it doesn't make sense. My sister brushes her teeth every morning, and she has 2 dogs. These sentences show her daily habit and her situation. So as you can see, when we use a stative verb, we use the present simple to talk about now. But we don't use adverbs to show habit, custom, or that something is a usual part of life. Can you think of any other examples of stative verbs? Well, what's the status of your mind? I believe you because you're on YouTube. I understand the lesson. I know the answer. Believe, understand, and know are stative verbs. They show the situation of your mind. She loves him. They hate green peppers. The doctor likes needles. Love, hate, like. These are verbs that show what's in your heart. They're also stative verbs. Besides what's in your heart or in your mind, something you have is also your status. They have an apartment in the city. He owns a business. And when you talk about your 5 senses, you use stative verbs also. It smells good. It tastes really sweet. I see something in the water. Well, I don't want to talk too much, and I think maybe now you can understand the difference between dynamic verbs and stative verbs. If you use a stative verb, the present simple shows us the situation right now. I understand. But if you use a dynamic verb, the present simple shows us what happens usually. I watch your videos every day. Like I always say, it's important to practice, and a good way to practice the present simple is by practicing these situations. Use the adverbs that I just showed you every time you use a dynamic verb. And when you talk about what's in your mind or heart, or what you see or feel, just use the present simple. How often do you watch YouTube videos? Well, if you're still not sure about this grammar, you can watch this video every day. Questions. Simple present verbs. Match each of the verbs on the right with one of the questions on the left in the way that makes the most sense. Now we have a few exercises for you to try practicing with simple present verbs. If you think you'd like to do it, just pause the video for a few minutes. After that, I'll show you the correct answers. Are you ready? Here are the correct answers. Number 1. My son usually watches cartoons after dinner. Number 2. Nurses often work late at night. Number 3. I trust my teammates. Number 4. We usually talk about politics during class. Number 5. Grandfather eats an apple every day. Number 6. She has a blue bicycle. Number 7. My aunt sometimes cooks dinner for her kids. Number 8. It smells like cinnamon. Number 9. It snows a lot every winter in Finland. All right, that's all for today. Thank you for watching. I hope these videos are good practice for you. If you think it's interesting or helpful, please push the like button below and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Also, if there's something you would like to hear me talk about in the future, just leave a comment. I'll see you next time. Thank you.